And now on BBC One, the entirely unresearched life story of Marshall Eminem Mathers. Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem, aka Slim Shady, aka Old Man Rapitude, aka Vanilla Ice. Marshall Brian Mathers III was born in 1975 to a family of miners in the South Yorkshire town of Rotherham. An albino, Marshall became well known in his community for his white hair and crossed pink eyes. He spent much of his early years down the pit, where his rhythmic swearing kept up the spirits of the other miners. In 1989, a freak accident saw him crushed beneath the buttocks of a pit pony, resulting in the breaking of several limbs. Marshall was immediately sent to see the local general practitioner, Dr. Reginald Dre. Dr. Dre was immediately intrigued by this small white fellow whose swearing, whilst vulgar, was almost musical in its tone. Running a small record label in his spare time and having recently enjoyed success with chart-topping acts such as Bucks Fizz, Paul Young and St. Winifred's School Choir, Dr. Dre did not hesitate in inviting Marshall Mathers to join his stable. Marshall spent the next 10 years in Dr. Dre's stable, his duties mainly involving changing the hay and taking the cows for a walk. In spring 1995, fate was to once again shower its golden fortune on Marshall's face when he beat a mentally ill woman dressed as a goose to become the winner of Michael Barrymore's My Kind of People. Marshall, now dubbed Eminem due to his predilection for storing small chocolate sweets in his cheeks, became an overnight sensation, appearing on some of the most influential television shows of the era. In 1997, he released his debut album Fucking Gay Pigs, which saw him achieve his first #1 with the single Eat My Cockshit You Gay Bitch. Whilst his record sales were strong, Eminem was never far from criticism, with various farming groups complaining that his album title, Fucking Gay Pigs, was derogatory towards their livestock. This argument would also see Eminem fall foul of his one-time mentor Dr. Dre, who was reportedly saddened that his protege was apparently insulting the very pigs whose stables he had mucked out not 5 years previously. Undeterred, Eminem went on to release another 2 albums, My Mother Pukes Evil Out Her Cunt and Fisting Bitches' Ears. These in turn sparked controversies, not least from Eminem's mother Linda, who complained that aside from insulting every aspect of her being, Marshall had neglected to send her a Christmas card for the past 2 years. This may be due to the fact that Eminem had another woman in his life, having recently found love with popular cruise ship crooner Jane McDonald. The couple would go on to have 2 children, Cedric Albert Marshall and Elle Kabong, though their marriage would not escape the controversy that had dogged Eminem's career from the outset. Many saw that the first single from Eminem's 4th album, Jane is a Motherless Shit Gargler, to be a thinly veiled attack on his wife, though these claims were vehemently denied. Nevertheless, the pair were to divorce and remarry no less than 470 times over the course of the next decade. The first years of the 21st century would prove trying for Eminem, firstly with his ongoing beef with folk music group Clannad hitting the headlines, and subsequently with the sudden death of his best friend Gary Wilmot, who choked to death on a peanut in an after-hours club. To compound matters, critics were divided on his latest album, Pipes and Whistles of My Homeland, in which Eminem had unexpectedly branched out into an avant-garde hip-hop Yorkshire folk fusion that left many listeners confused and with diarrhea. After a break of 6 years, during which he overcame his addiction to Pop-Tarts and Pogs, Eminem returned to stunning form with his album Mongoloid Bitch Explosion, which received praise from the music press as well as cultural critics such as Jermaine Greer, who commented, "This pimp shit is straight up raw dog." This happiness was sadly short-lived, as Eminem was shot to death in mid-2009 whilst appearing live on stage at Bognor Regis Butlins. The investigation is still ongoing, though brothers Paul and Barry Chuckle, Keith Harris, and another as yet unidentified individual remain in police custody on suspicion of murder.